Hello, welcome to Timberwolf Talks. I'm Sakura.
I'm Yesica.
And Maria.
And I'm Jouvaughn.
And today we're going to be talking about junior year. So, what did you guys think of junior year when you were in it?
I thought junior year, like going into it, I thought it was gonna be hard due to like the two AP classes that we were taking. But once I got into it, like actually like the middle of the school year or like even like the middle of the first semester, it felt the same as sophomore year, just like studying more. But overall, it was the same as sophomore year. But the stress level does go it goes down a little more because I know what I was doing with like the AP classes. So that's how I felt.
Sorry.
No, restart that.
No, don't. No, just leave it. Okay, but like based on my experience, I thought it was a little harder just because I was dealing with the AP classes and I was dealing with Calc BC, which wasn't like my best subject. And also I kind of put myself in a lot of clubs and I didn't know how to manage my time wisely. So that I think that's why I was struggling a lot junior year, but senior year it's gone more relaxed. What did I say? Calc A. Oh no, not BC. Calc AB. My bad. Okay, go ahead.
So for me, I believe junior year was a bit more difficult, but at the same time, I did start like incorporating like my planner. I started using it a lot more, and then I also kind of figured out how I do best studying and how to organize my time to be able to do my homework and everything on time. So that's what, that made it a lot easier for me junior year.
Yeah. As a junior myself, I would also recommend what Yesica said as well. Make sure you try and basically write down what you're supposed to do, basically. Or else you'll be so stressed. Do you guys have anything else to add for that?
No, but like Jessica said, utilize your planner because it is easy, like they were just saying. Yeah, that's it.
All right, so how would you guys describe the AP classes?
Let's start with you now.
So for me, AP classes, they were kind of difficult because it did require like having to analyze different documents, and I struggled with it. But like as for the homework, I think it was like fine because then I was able to review a lot of those things in the notebook. And Mr. Pinkham, he's a teacher for AP United States History. I'm so used to saying APUS already. But I liked the content, but it was for me kind of difficult to be able to like process it and just like be able to explain it well. So yeah.
How about you, Maria?
Okay, so like I was saying, it just depends on the student. For me, I like history and writing. I like history and writing. That's why I found APUSH and AP Lang a little bit easier. And with Miss Jouvaughn, okay, no, we're just gonna keep this going. We're gonna keep it going because it's fine. So for APUSH, just because Mr. Pinkham was a teacher, he taught it really well, and the way he doesn't use as much PowerPoints. He kind of just uses his voice to explain everything, and I find that really useful. And Mr. Pafford, the way his class is set up, we just keep writing a lot of essays, and it really helps, especially when at the end of your junior year, he's gonna help you start on your what is it called, the college statements, yeah, for your UCAPs or private schools that you're gonna apply to. And it really helps because it kind of sets the foundation for what you're gonna be submitting, a few months later. And I think that just because it's AP classes, it shouldn't be scaring any of you guys. And for you that are going to be taking a higher division math course, it's going to be AP Calc AB or AP Calc BC. Your junior year, I think it's just you guys just need to manage your time better, and that's something I needed to learn.
So for me, wait, what was the question? I got distracted.
It was basically how are the AP classes doing?
For me personally, I really didn't like history the previous year Especially when we got into AP European history, because it was really hard for me to focus just on that like one thing. But once we got into APUSH, AP US history, I got more involved in it. I would like to say, because the way that Mr. Pinkham like was teaching it, he got us more involved in like the actual time period of like every time that we went through different ones. So overall, AP US history like got me more involved in history overall. And then for AP Lang, it helped me with my writing more. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So for AP Lang, it helped me with my writing.
Sorry.
So this is the part where you cut out. So again, for AP Lang, it helped me with my writing. Because before, like, I used to like writing, but I knew that my writing wasn't, like, not like perfect, but it wasn't good enough, I felt. So having Mr. Pafford tell us, like, how to actually write an essay or formulate, like, a thesis and stuff like that, it really helped me grow in my writing more, and inspired me to write, like, not every day, but try to write every week. So, and it also helped with writing the college statement.
Yeah.
Oh, just to add on to that, also just by because he has a lot of timed essays in class, and Jouvaughn, can you look that way? And it just really helps when you're writing a paper. It doesn't take that long for me to write like a 3-page paper, just because I've been doing it consistently in AP.
Yeah.
Like, so.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to read them all of this, because this girl doesn't know how to add.
No, because it's fun. Because it's just like bloopers.
Yeah, pretty much. I am gonna
Bloopers,
make some.
there's nothing gonna be in there, it's just gonna be all bloopers.
Oh man. But anyways, so just making sure none of you guys were some of the people that took like a 3rd AP class during junior year, right? You were?
I had AP Calc AB.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So how did you feel about that?
Oh girl.
With 3 AP classes in junior year?
I mean, like, it wasn't even the fact that it was a 3rd EP class. It was just the fact that the 3rd EP class was Calc AB, and me and Calc are not best friends. So, like, a shout out to you, Mr. Abel. You're a really good teacher, but calculus, it wasn't for me, and I really struggled a lot in that class. So I'm kind of glad now that I'm not taking which is a higher division math course, which is the BC, and because I'm more calm and relaxed compared to last year.
Yeah.
But I mean, it really just depends on what you can handle for you incoming juniors. If you really think you can handle a 3rd AP class, just be very wary on which class you're going to be taking. So, yeah, just take that into consideration and talk to you later.
Yes. Yeah. All right. So do you guys have anything else to add on that matter? No. All right. All right, so do you think that even though we always should be thinking about college, do you think we should be thinking about it more?
As juniors?
Yes.
I really think you should be doing that. Well, okay, you don't really have to be set on a certain college because, of course, you want to be mindful that, you know, with turning in your college app, there is rejections. So you just have to be wary of your different options. And I think that because, okay, so you know how everyone's kind of like, oh, you should have your major decided already. It's okay to not know yet what you want to be. A lot of people go into college with an undecided major, and it's really up to you with how you want to do that. But when it comes to preparing for, college apps and all of that, I think what you need to do is for your ACT and SAT, I think you really need to do that way before the start of your senior year, at least a couple of times just to prepare for it. Because when it comes down to your first semester senior year, it's really a time crunch, and you don't want to be pushing everything to the last minute to the point where you're signing up for the SAT and you just sign up for a date and you forget about it, and then so you go in unprepared and you're not going to get the best score like you would have if you would have studied all summer and taken it before the beginning of your senior year. So I really think that although you're not, struggling with deadlines yet as juniors, I think that you can help your future self by doing all of that beforehand.
Would you guys agree?
Yeah. I agree. On the subject of like thinking about college, I don't think that you should focus thinking about college your first semester of junior year. That's more to the like second semester, because first semester should be focused on developing like a study habit for the 2 AP classes or multiple AP classes that you have, and then once you get into the second semester when everything sort of dials down and you're just studying for like the AP test, that's when you actually should start like thinking about college. Not about like necessarily what college, like one specific college, but like multiple colleges that have your majors and or the major that you think that you want to do, or the multiple majors that you think you want to do. Because I know for me, start of junior year, I had around like 4 majors that I thought I wanted to do, and by the end of junior year, I already decided on 2 of them. So that second semester gave me the time to think about which majors I wanted to do. So if you're like one of the persons who's undecided on which major, just take a time and think about it, and then like look up colleges and how much like their tuition is and how far it is, depending on how far you want to go. And then as for the SAT and ACT, I think that I would really recommend you guys doing the SAT and ACT like the summer after your junior year, so like right after you get out of junior year, before senior year, because that gives you leeway just in case you're not satisfied with that score. You could take it again like one or another time, and then if you're not satisfied with that score, you could take it again before the deadline is due, so you have multiple chances. Because for me, I only took it one time, and I wasn't really satisfied with my score, but that's the score that I had to send in, because I was one of the ones who didn't take it during the summer, which I really regret. So if you have time, just make sure to schedule it and start studying soon.
So as for like talking about like the career, I don't think you have to have like your mind set on a specific career. For me, it just happened to be that junior year I was in college classes that I took courses in psychology, and it really interested me a lot. And so now like the major that I plan to go into is psychology, because it was really interesting for me. And I took Psych 1 and Psych 3 I mean. But I still don't think you should like have like a major like in mind. I mean, like you could think about it and like be exposed to like the different college classes that will like teach you more about that like topic, but just like kind of think about it, and it's fine if like you're undecided still. As for ACT and SATs, I suggest to really plan for it and study for it, like use your resources. I believe there's like, I don't know if it's like on Naviance and
I think they have it on Khan Academy actually,
Yeah.
because since our school we do PSATs, it actually connects it, and you're actually given an advantage with that, because since the College Board is connected with it, you could kind of strengthen up your weaknesses, in other words. Yes.
Can I add on to that? What
Sure.
you were saying? Okay, so with the Khan Academy, I did know about it, I just didn't do it, which was on my part, but Khan Academy, like I've heard from a lot of people, my cousins, friends, and everyone, when they took the SAT score, they got this score, they did Khan Academy. They did that for a few hours, like every week before they took the test, and their scores went up a couple hundred from their initial score. So like it may like the questions on Khan Academy may look redundant, but like if you really think about it, SAT and the ACT scores is kind of just how well you test as an individual. So by taking a lot of these questions and answering a lot of these questions, you're kind of being like, what was the word? Like familiarizing yourself with the format of the SAT. So with that, you're kind of in a way like, being comfortable with the format and increasing your score.
So also adding on to that, your junior year, you guys take the PSAT or the PSAT in October, I believe. And you guys should really take that test seriously. I know it's a practice SAT, but it also counts against like scholarships. You can get scholarships if you get a really good score on that. So you guys should really take that seriously, and you guys would get the test back like second semester, I believe. And you guys can start studying from that also, because some of the questions there is some questions that could relate to the regular SAT. And like Maria said, that can also be a way to make you more comfortable with the kind of questions that they're going to be asking on the actual test, on the test day. Yeah.
All right. Is that it for that? Okay, so before I end this clip, I'd actually like to just give out a few facts in case some of the people watching might not know. So there are fee waivers, right, for those who might struggle with paying for the SAT, ACT, because they are expensive. Yes?
Yeah.
All right. And
Oh, and for the fee waiver, you'll know if you're gonna get one if you get we get free lunch now. We get free lunch now at here, but you just have to talk to Ueda because before the way it was set up was when we didn't get free lunch, if you qualified for reduced or free lunch, then you would get the fee waiver. But talk to Ueda.
yes.
But if you also don't, because I know somebody who doesn't qualify for the free lunch, but they just talked to Ueda about like the situation that's happening, and they did get the fee waiver for both the SAT and ACT. So you just have to talk to Ueda about it. Don't be scared to talk to Ueda. He's actually really understanding.
He's a big teddy bear.
Yeah. So going into your junior year, you should really start talking to him since he will be your main counselor that year and senior year, and he's a really helpful like guide and support system throughout both years.
Yeah.
He's a school dad.
Yeah, and also, even though the writing portion is not required, you guys would recommend anyone to take that, right?
Yeah, because most colleges look for the writing. I believe when I was looking through most of the qualifications in order to apply to colleges, most of them require you to have the writing part. So, yeah.
And if you're already taking AP Lang, it's kind of a waste if you don't do the writing part, because what have you been doing AP Lang for?
True.
So,
Well, other than the AP test.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Oh, we should talk about how you pass the AP when you like to go to the English one.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, okay. Go ahead.
So another fact about junior year is that since you are taking AP Lang and it's basically a college prep like class, and you take the AP exam, if you do pass the AP exam with a 3 or above, the next year, since you have to take English 1A, if you haven't taken it like your sophomore or junior year, you don't have to take it. You could just move on to English 1D. But if you do like fail it, like you get a 2 or below, you, it's just extra help that year, and then you can move on to English 1D the second semester. So it just gives you like a less college class that you have to worry about, but you still get the credit for it.
All right. So is that all you guys would like to add for that? All right. So that's about it, right, guys? All right. So thank you all for watching. Would you guys like to say your farewells?
I would just like to end on with the suggestion to really use your resources, and like they mentioned before, go see Mr. Ueda because he will really help you and help like guide you and like really just talk to him.
Okay, for me, aside from like all the constant like work that you have to do junior year and all the stress that comes with thinking about college, don't forget to kind of just sit back and enjoy your junior year because it's, you know, you have 2 more years right when you start before you graduate, and that's pretty much it. So take time and just kind of hang out with friends and don't forget the good times, and also add me on Instagram at mar.iaa.
I don't know how you follow.
Oh, follow me, I'm sorry.
Overall, I feel like they already stated like the overall meaning of.
Wait, you got Apple Watch?
So overall, I feel like you guys should shh. So overall, I feel like they already stated the overall meaning of this video, but I just hope that you guys take the tips and advice that we gave you guys. And like Yesica said, talk to Mr. Ueda as soon as possible. Like if you have any inconvenience and you're like paying for stuff, or if you need extra help, don't be afraid to talk to Mr. Pafford or Mr. Pinkham. And so yeah, that's it. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and turn on the post notifications for your senior tips.
I'm Yesica.
And I'm Jouvaughn.
And I'm Maria, and thank you for watching Timberwolf Talk. Thank you.